What I want to show you is a dog door insert I've made for a sliding door. This one's only fairly cheap. It's less than $30, which is a lot cheaper than the other ones you see on the internet and other places, which can cost well over $200. Also, this one works for the sliding door, and also it'll fit in the screen, for the screen door as well. Now, just to show you how it works, we'll see the dog come through. Lucy, Lucy, come. Okay, this is Lucy coming through. You see, she easily gets through, and the good thing about this one is that it does match, the colour of the house and the door, and also it is very easy just to take away. All I've got to do is to slide it out like that. So there's no permanent change, because a lot of times you will see that there are other brands around which they actually put it into the fly screen, and you've got to make a hole in the fly screen, which means you've got to keep the fly screen door open, which isn't any good in the winter or when it's hot in the summer. And the other ones you'll see as well would be ones which they have to actually cut a hole in the glass, which again, if you are sort of renting, or if you when your dog is no longer with you, you've got to try and patch it up. So this is the advantage of this one, and as I said, it's a lot cheaper than the ones you can actually see to purchase. Okay, the next part of this video I'm going to show you how to make it. Okay, the first thing we need to do is to measure the height of the opening, less the height of the dog. Now, I've measured my dog as being 35 centimetres high, so I want the actual insert to actually come down its full length, which is 2.25 minus 35 mil, which will give me an overall height of 1.9 metres. Now also, you've got to play around with the actual width of the door, because we want the door to be as narrow as possible for a number of reasons. One is to actually, for insulation purposes, and also for security, so that we want to minimise it, because we will be locking the door, and to stop people going through, and also for structural reasons, because the actual board we're going to be using is fairly lightweight, so we want to reduce the width as much as possible. So just by trial and error, I've worked out this is to be the narrowest width for the dog, and that is from the inside of the rail here through to the edge of the door. I've got 19.5 centimetres. The other measurement we need is just the insert to the edge, so where the actual insert will go in to the edge of the frame, and that is about 19 millimetres. Okay, the materials that we'll need for this dog insert are firstly the foam board. This is the measurements I've got here, 32 inch by 40 inch by 5 millimetre thick foam board. I got this from an art shop. The other thing that we need is a bit of clear plastic. This is A4 size, and you can get it from a report cover or from a stationery shop. And then we need some tape. This is just white duct tape, probably around about 50 millimetres wide. And then I've got some other tape, which is mailing tape. It's quite strong tape. We'll need this for the hinge, and this we'll use to actually join the fiberboard together. Should I say the foam board together? Okay, we get our foam board and we measure the width of the insert, which is 195 millimeters, 2.5 centimeters, and we get a very sharp Stanley knife, and then we make the. Okay, I've now cut two sections, 195 wide, and we've got to actually now stick them together. So what I use for this is the white duct tape, and so now we've got to join the two pieces together. Okay, we put the tape, I've already done that one, so I put the tape on both sides, and then we have the first bit of the doggy door. We've actually now got to cut that to length. Now, as we measured when we from the door, we need it 1.9 meters long. Okay, I've measured the length, 1.9 meters, and so I'm just cutting off the end so it is the right length. Okay, that's that. Now we get to this is the actual doggy door opening, which is this A4 piece of clear plastic. So we've got to work out what the width is. Now we know that this is 195 millimeters wide, and we did measure that insert as 19 millimeters. This sort of fits into the cavity in the sliding door by 19 millimeters, and then I have a little air space on both sides of about 3 millimeters. So the 195 minus 19 minus 3 millimeters comes to 170 millimeters wide. So I'm now going to cut this sheet, the A4 sheet, to 170 millimeters. Okay, I've cut my 6 lengths of tape. This is reinforced tape. It's called mailing tape, and so it's extra strong, a little bit stronger than sellotape. But I think you could probably use other tape, maybe insulation tape would work as well. So now we just apply the 6 hinges to the board and to the plastic doggy door. So this is the first side, and we do the same on the second side. Okay, I've now applied the hinges on both sides, and so that's our actual flap. I probably should have mentioned that I've used a clear plastic flap because it makes it easier for the dog to go through. Sometimes if you just had an opaque sheet or one that's just white or black, some dogs don't like actually going through. So I'd advise getting a clear plastic sheet. Now on the back of the board, see when it goes in, it'll be this side because I've got the wider bit there because that's going to go inside the track, and so on the back I've just put a little sticker so that I know that that's the outside. Okay, well let's go and fit it. Okay, so now we're going to fit the door. So the way this works is that it just fits into the cavity like this. Just fits into the edge and then up to the top, and then to keep it in place we use a couple of little foam packers. I just had a couple of bits of foam and joined them with double-sided tape. So the actual stuff I used was, I think it's called a gap filler, which is used as a little foam that you can buy just for a few dollars at your local hardware shop. And so these actually fit into the edge just to help stop it actually sliding down to the bottom. And then the door just butts on against the insert like that. Okay, let's see if it works. The test. Okay, we'll try and get the dog to come through. Lucy, Lucy, come on through. There we go, success. Now, I just want to show you something else. That's for the sliding door, but also you can, if you want just the screen door open, then it'll actually fit into the screen door. Actually, it's the actual slot I've got is narrower, so I actually turn these bits of foam the other way around, and so it just goes into place here. At the other side, just wedge it in, and then again this just slides in and butts up against the side, and there we have it. Now, one thing I will show you is what I do to stop the door opening for security. Now, I'll just put this back so it's on the sliding door side. Up there, goes into the side, and there's little packings stop it sliding down. So what you can do with a sliding door is you can put a piece of wood, along the end there to stop it moving. But in my case, we've got a double sliding door, so it'll be too long. So what I've got here is a hinge, a clamp. And I actually put the clamp at the end of the track and tighten it up like so. And now any intruder comes along and they can't pull the door open. Hello, I hope you enjoyed this video. My name's Lachlan. I live in Western Australia, and this is Lucy. And Lucy's a poodle Bichon Frise.